weekly Dama news. Kendama is coming in the house together with me, KENDERTAINMENT, pounding fists, forces, getting psyched for this week's Dama news. I'm MJ. We're going to be joined shortly by my buddy from Kendama, Rylan, and we're going to be talking about what has been happening within the week or possibly even the 2 past weeks, because last week went out on a trip. There's a vacation that happens here in Japan, everyone. It's called Golden Week. It's the week that there is a full week of holidays. Most businesses are off. It's a strange kind of thing. It's just a group of separate holidays that are just stacked one after the other. So everyone has this week off, and it's like the big time to travel, to go out and to do stuff. And this year was the first year in 2 years since shit hit the fan with the whole world, that there was no kind of lockdown sort of situation. And technically, to get deep into it, Japan can't really go into a full lockdown like other countries can. It's like against the law or some shit. But in any case, it was the time that everyone was like, hey, let's go and be out and be free with everyone. And that's what I did. So that's why I wasn't able. I was totally out in the mountains, super countryside. But hey, old Rylan's here. Okay, let's get him in. What up? Everyone who's joining. Much. Rylan, there he is. Everyone.
What's up, dude?
What is up? Thanks everyone for joining right now. Rylan, thanks for joining me again for this one. Yes, definitely. New Life Kendama as well. Biggest news. It's Mother's Day, everyone. Call your mothers. If I know there's some people who maybe not have their mothers, and it could be a pretty touchy subject for today, to be serious, to be real, You're
not wrong.
But hey, happy Mother's Day. But yes, call your moms. Say thank you for giving birth, because birth is a pretty intense thing. If anyone has had the experience of witnessing a birth, it gets intense. It gets emotional. It gets everything. Oh my gosh!
It's
and I'm not talking
insane
about when you're in what is it called? Like sex ed in school, and you watch it. It's not like that. It's crazier. In any case, we're talking about weekly Dama news, all right, everyone here. How's it going, Rylan? Haven't seen you in a week. What's been up?
Nothing. I've been good. I'm psyched to be back in Dama newsing.
All right.
Last week I was like, cool, I'll just have a chill Sunday. And then I was like, something's missing. And I was like, it's Dama news. I didn't do Dama news today. It didn't kickstart my day.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully this will be a good kind of medicine for you to get back on the sesh of Damas that we'll be talking about. And I mean, we could just have this one over in 5 minutes and just say, hey everyone, Kendama World Cup is happening in real life. NAKO, NYCO is happening in real life. Brew Battle is happening in real life. So many events happening in real life. That's the news for today. See you this week. Finish outro song. It could be that simple, but we're going to go into depth. Now, Rylan, what do you think? Should we start off? Everyone who's watching right now, let us know. Should we start off with the heaviness of these events of NAKO? Or do you want to start off and ease into it?
I'd be interested to see what the people in chat say. But there are a few smaller things. I guess not really smaller. They're still big things, but they're not as big as literal events. They're not massive. Seduce you. So
we start little.
Let's start little, and we'll work our way up really quick.
Okay.
Because I have two that I'm sure you saw one of them, but one of them I almost missed. It was like when you're scrolling through Instagram, you get those like suggested stories, like the story highlights. So the first one that I definitely saw is Jacob Watts is Kusa Tribe, which is huge, because he was just like a year and a half ago joined Analog and then stepped down
within the past probably few months. If I remember correctly, it's within like 3 months.
I would even say within 2 months. Like it was very recent. So obviously him joining Tribe was something that he was interested in and considering, right? Like it
could have been on the table.
Yeah.
And that's why he stepped down or away from analog?
And I've got like 1,000,001 different, like, I guess not questions, but like ideas on why he would leave analog. Like, I know analog doesn't really do the pro model thing. And analog's team is like a little bit smaller and kind of like, what do you call it? Just more like under the radar. They're all very great players. You've got a Dave Sherwack, and you've got Steve.
Is Dave still playing?
I don't know. He got a pre-mod though, which is like their like idea of a pro mod.
Okay. I'm not so well versed on all of this stuff. I didn't know that they kind of strayed away from the whole pro mod thing. That's kind of shitty.
I would say they do pre-mods in the same way that Soul does the what do they call them? The vibes? Yeah. So like you get your
little something. You kind of got like a flavor to the Ben and Jerry's, but we're not going to give you like a whole vat of ice cream that you'll be able to make just for you that we're going to put in every store. You just get like specialty store, like location. Oh, here's this exclusive one.
Exactly. So yeah, because I think David Sherwack has had a pro mod. But they do like a pre-mod first, which is kind of just like you get your own, like you can like colorway. It's still a pro mod essentially. Just doesn't like have your name all over it. So I don't know. So I guess that's personally one of the reasons that I would step away from analog. Because if you're going to join a team, I feel like getting a pro mod is like huge, and analog just doesn't really do the pro mod thing.
That's like one of the tiers that you're working your way up to. I think with a lot of people who are into kendama, who are playing kendama, like that is a dream to be on a team, to be within a crew. Of course, we can all just make our own crews, or we are a part of local crews and teams and stuff. And that is like the best because that's where everyone starts off. But to go to the level of being sponsored or to be recognized, to be a part of the people that you saw when you were getting into Dama and the people that you admire on all this social media and YouTube and stuff, to get to that point. And then like, that's one amazing step to get to climb. And then after that is to possibly have a hand in creating some kendamas. And then of course, having your own, becoming pro, which entails having a pro mod.
For sure. Yeah, definitely.
So to have that not on there, it's like, I didn't know about that. That's curious.
Yeah. It is sort of a bummer though, that they don't really do the pro mod thing, because analog makes a really, really great kendama.
Yeah. There are a lot of people talk a lot of good stuff about him. Yeah,
for sure. And then, so congrats to Jacob Watts.
On Tribe.
Here is the other one that I like just
New
barely
Tribian.
Almost missed is I hate people with these. I guess I have a pretty terrible Instagram handle too. But Dustin, at Dustin a Nut, is scarce, is on the scarce kendama team, which is kind of crazy to me because are they like a full kendama brand now?
Dude, I mean, you can. It's like when you go on people's, I don't know, social profiles, and they're like professional athlete, I don't know, like graphic designer, and you check out their stuff. It's like, well, okay, like you know, we could all add these titles to ourselves, and everyone kind of, you know, lights the flame under them to either become that in the future or just show off to kind of be like, oh yeah, I am that, but it could not be true. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, if a company was to say like, yeah, we're going to pick up people, we want them to rep our brand pretty much and be a part of it. I think like anyone could do it. I mean, like Slump Ghost does it with, and you know, they're a clothing brand.
Yeah. And I guess like I have people on the Kendrama team.
There you have it.
But those are also people that help me run the company. So it's like a little bit different.
They're doing work too. But I mean, dude, the sponsored players are doing work. I just watched this clip from Nine Club, that skateboarding podcast, and they were talking about like what pushes sales for skateboards. Like, is it the team? Is it the player? Or the skaters? Is it the graphic? Is it the shape? Or is it the company, the brand? And I was like, yeah, damn, like that's true. That goes deep. And I think it kind of course it relates with Kendama. I think almost like anything, especially now on with social media, that's why we have this words influencer word, because it's like a people who have a large following can influence people to buy other things. Like that's like, I don't like that word influencer. It's all about just like marketing, how we can like get more people to buy that thing. So it's like it comes from a marketing aspect of just looking at people as like, oh, you could be my living commercial for my brand, what I want to sell. So, I mean, in ways, hopefully, if those companies aren't out just for the greed of it, and they can actually help this person who they're sponsoring become better, or get feedback, become a helpful, integral part of a community that they're in, then it's a win-win. And I think that's what more brands should be doing. But it's also like at the same time looking at the people who are actually of influence, who are having a big hand in that community. And then I think they could win big. Yeah.
I guess. And so Nule said Tamas only, which I knew that they just do Tamas.
For now, For now. Hey, Nintendo started off with playing cards.
You're not wrong. No, but like they are cleared by Adrian Esteban, and like they come with Adrian Esteban strings. So I guess like if you're really into those Tamas, then that's like kind of a cool thing, I guess, right? And like
very stylized, very different. All of them are going to be unique. They're all hand painted. You get a special kind of clear, and with people who possibly don't care about a certain brand, this could be one that they could gravitate towards.
For sure. So good job to Dustin and Nut. Because I mean they are great Tamas, and they're cool. I really like the hand painted thing. Not a lot of companies do hand painted because it just doesn't make sense for like Kusa to paint.
He could change his name to Dustin a Tama, because in Japanese, like Tama means ball, and actually Kintama, which translates to gold ball, is a slang for your nuts. So he could, but then it won't be funny. No one would get it. So,
But we would get it. Everyone would get it. So great job to Jacob Watts. I think Tribe is a great fit, and great job to Dustin. Because I imagine now you'll probably get at least one free Tama from every drop, and I haven't gotten one yet. So, what's next, MJ?
Yeah, that's cool. So let's see. Another one that I saw that was from last week, possibly. Yeah, which was cool. I've mentioned in the past that Krom is always taking things, looking at it from different angles and stuff, and their recent posts have been, kind of showing that off. And one that they had was design with a GIF, a Tama design, right? And I was like, that's very interesting, because they're asking the public, asking everyone out there, what is something that you would want? Okay. Little stupid, like super nerd thing. It seems like, I don't know if they changed their holograph or something, or maybe it's just the lighting in that picture. It looks different to me, but to have this pop, is it a pop? Yeah. Clear. And oh no, is it? It's different. What the hell is that?
Right? I don't know, because the pops don't usually have
text.
I guess they might just be photoshopped out.
Could be. Yeah. But in any case, to go out there and to ask the people what they want, and possibly make something that is going to be made in the future. Who knows? Or just a really interesting idea to see what is kind of popular. What is a scheme that could work in the future? Because Krom's always doing interesting things, not only with their posts like we see here, but also with their designs, and with their drops being somewhat small and just being like pretty much limited. It could be something that we could see in the future. Who knows?
oh, wait a second. No, that's definitely not a pop because it's maple and pops are only come in beach.
Oh, there you go.
Well, who knows what that is?
So they just have a design. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And what else did they do? I really like that they do these like little just anecdote type things. Like, ever land a trick and realize your camera died, and it just, I think it boosts engagement a lot because then people are like going to comment like, oh yeah, one time I hit this banger. And it's just keeping them relevant, I would say. Like, and again, Kusa's been doing a lot better. I'm really proud of Kusa. But it's just this like little stuff like this where it just keeps your engagement high. It keeps people coming back to your account. Stuff like this, like, yes, the trick combo, but it's all these like little,
oh yeah.
I don't know, not like hieroglyphics, but just like little, vector images, right?
Right. Yeah. And you got to try to figure out what it is. It's just a simple game. I think, personally, that one's like kind of meh because you're just spending time. It's kind of like a crossword puzzle in a magazine or a newspaper where it's like you could spend your time doing that or having to actually utilize this platform where we can engage, be social with one another. And then I definitely enjoy this one that you just talked about. How it's like, hey, give us a story of your kendama troubles or good points, high points.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, like I said, it just keeps your engagement high and it keeps people coming back to your account. It keeps your account on the front of their feed, right?
Yes.
And like I said, Kusa's been doing better, but that was like my gripe like a year ago when we were talking about it. It was like, why is Kusa not making little posts? Like it seems like they hold out for like a new Dama release to say something. And it's like, you don't have to. It can be this like just little thing. And
right. And we don't know the inner workings of it, but it could just be that they don't have someone who's staffed to be doing that kind of stuff. But yeah, it is definitely something that I believe should be kind of important as a brand to be posting every day, to be in front of people's eyes every day, even if it's not talking about a great example is Jake Ween's Ken Garden for GT. Like he has go through his account or GT's account and you'll see so many, not only like, hey, new Dama dropping or there's a sale or whatever, like trying to advertise to you, but yes, cat. It's also like just showing the lifestyle of kendama.
Yeah.
For
sure.
And that totally connects with this whole social platform of what you look at, what is, again, influencer looking at other people's lives and either high-fiving about it or crying about it because you're comparing yourself to them. And it's real or fake. Who knows?
Yeah. So to wrap that up, great job, Kusa, or great job, Krom. Sorry. I like your little anecdotes, your little sprinkly things that aren't necessarily kendama.
Yes, totally. But wonder who's behind that.
To piggyback off of, I think it's Skags. I think Skags does all their SNS.
Yeah.
So speaking of Brian got the big fat edit, which I was hoping was a kendama, and it's not.
A sandwich Dama?
Well, because like the caption is Skags just dropped, which is like, if you're just scrolling and you see that, you're like, oh, finally. But every time somebody's like, Brian, when's your pro mod gonna drop? He's always like very like slight about it, like, oh, I don't know. So I know that like somewhere in there he's got something that it's fine. But this was like a really, really good edit. I think it's okay. So it says delivers on a full IG compilation edit of tricks posted straight to IG and never YouTube. So I think that this kind of bridges the gap between edit making and the kind of complaint that you and I have that like there isn't a lot of edits coming out and that everybody really focuses on keeping their social media relevant.
Yep.
So I think that this is like a good way to bridge the gap. If you're posting like sick bangers every day for a month, take all of those, put them in one edit, film some B-roll, cut it up, add some slow motion, and then that's a good way to bridge that gap, to like make something that somebody can sit down and enjoy and be present in, rather than just seeing a trick and scrolling and seeing a trick and scrolling. So
yeah. Especially to the point of it just disappearing with Instagram. Like if you post all the time, like cool, but they're all gone like the next day. If they were just filling up or waiting for the next clip. So having it, even if you want to recycle, which I don't know if it's like kind of this kind of art idea mindset that you have of you don't want to replicate your old work, but it would be not bad to just repurpose it and put it onto YouTube, because that is something where people are searching. People are more likely to visit again after, because you can search for something on YouTube. You could search for an older clip from however long ago, through the title, from the channel itself, but you can't really do that well with, unless you just like scrolling on Instagram.
And I would say that part of the reason that I think edits are so great is because I know a lot of kids are finding Kendama through Instagram right now, but if you're not, let's say it just comes up on your Amazon, Sweets Prime, right? And so you snag one because you think, cool shit, a Kendama. My first thought was not to go to Instagram. Mine was not like, oh, I'll see if there's a Kendama hashtag. Mine was just to Google Kendama and like Kendama tricks. And what comes up is YouTube. Like 9 times out of 10, you're getting YouTube results. So you are not going to get as high of engagement on YouTube because you're not going to be on the front page of YouTube, whereas you're going to be on the front of somebody's Instagram feed. But over an extended period of time, you're going to accumulate something. If it's a good edit, it's going to sit well in the community and people are going to recognize that and then remember it. As opposed to, like you said, a good example of it getting lost in the feed is the Sonic Pineapple. She did that trick where it swung around and then she balanced it. And that was mind blowing. But nobody's talking about it anymore. It was insane.
It's got that viral feel. It's a lot easier to share as well. This platform is made for sharing, so you can easily like hype up other people by doing that, and that's cool. That's awesome, and it goes around, and a lot more people will see it there than seeing it on YouTube. Or you can't really like share on YouTube unless you're using maybe Twitter and you're using the URL copying that. But yeah, there's more effort that goes into YouTube than there is for Instagram, it feels like, for the user as well as for the person creating. I feel right now could be different in a few hours. I just think, but if you can make an edit and you can get it on YouTube, it, like you said, it's going to be searchable and it's going to be, if somebody likes it, they're going to be able to go back to it. I watch Fringe Case almost daily, at least 3 times a week. I just really like Fringe Case, and all I have to do is type in Fringe Case and it comes up to the top because I've already watched it like a million times. So, So yeah, I mean, if you put an edit out on YouTube, it's going to sit with the community and the community is going to be able to watch it and then rewatch it again. Like we said, it's just not doable with Instagram at the time being. But that said, Skag's edit is really, really good. Like I really enjoyed it. So was that this week or last week? Because I missed that. I think I saw the post, but I didn't look into it.
Last week. It was last week.
There you go. All right. Well, let's stick Krom, talk about, hey, mini medals are back. Was that last week too? 1 week ago. Yeah. Mini medals in silver and gold. So, it's like that whole old school Rudolph movie, silver and gold kind of shit. And you can decide on which one you'd like. I'm definitely on the silver side of it. But yeah, go check that out if you missed one, because I believe that Sweets made that smaller pocket kendama, but the mini metal is really probably the pocket kendama.
Yeah, and I think that and are they cheaper now? Weren't they $70?
Oh, I didn't look that far.
I think they might be cheaper now. I thought they were 70, like $69.99.
Yeah,
and now they're 50.
Ooh, swing.
So I don't know, but I've said it before. I think that even if they're damn near impossible to play, just because metal is not sticky or tacky in any way. You cannot lunar this.
Oh, dude, you don't need lunar.
Yeah, I mean, I get like you could use the big cup, right?
You can spacewalk. Get down with the flow with the weight of that thing. Yeah,
it's weighted perfectly, because it's machined aluminum, like 37 and 37, both perfect every time. But this is a cool thing just to put around your neck too. Like, it just is cool, and it's literally so small. It's like this big. It's always there. It's just great.
Yeah, that's the one you want to go for. Anyways, other kendamas. That's all the Krom stuff I think I had. Let's go over to other kendamas that have been popping up or around. Sweets, of course, been doing every week almost, coming out with stuff. The most recent is that X game, Aspen X game, so Winter X Games. I thought I'm more familiar with the summer X Games that have happened because it was just happening in Chiba here in Japan, just like a week ago or so. But yeah, I didn't know about this, and that is pretty awesome because it almost seems like it flew under the radar for me. It wasn't so hyped up. Maybe they weren't allowed to talk about it. Maybe there was some things where it's like, hey, X Games, don't talk about it because actually, we're too cool. We don't care about this Dama that's going to be out. We're just going to give it as free Red Bulls at the event. So we don't really care. We're not going to talk about it. Is that cool?
Yeah, you're right, actually. So a little bit of a tidbit on this. So Winter X Games just happened 2 months ago, right? Just finished up. So they gave these out to all the pro sports people, all the different winter
every contestant, probably all the contestants too, right? Anyone who's going, yeah.
So if you were invited to compete at the X Games, you got this Dama and you're like, welcome back. And Sweets had, I don't know if he said 50 or, mini metal was always $50. All right. For some reason, I thought it was 70. Sweet said we have either 50 or a little bit less than 50 of these just to put on the site. So if anybody gets one of these, you're literally getting a piece of kendama history as well as X Games history. Because originally there was going to be no way to buy these. They weren't going to be for sale. Yeah. They were just for the athletes. So, this is a really cool Dama to pick up if you are really into kendama history or X Games history or X Games athletes. I am 97% sure that they still have a couple on the website. So if you really, really want to pick one up, and these were supposed to go really fast, they still have a few left. So these were supposed to go pretty fast, but they didn't. There's a few left. They'll probably be gone by tomorrow. By tomorrow for sure, I imagine they'll be gone.
You think so?
I think so, yeah. Because I know that people in the Sweets Twitch stream were really excited on these. I think that this is just a little bit more niche of a thing. When they do their collabs with
any other brand, yeah, that's not
music or brands, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But this is
who are fans of that. Really but cool it's for me, I wouldn't pick it up. X Games, definitely Winter X Games, I'm not a fan of, so I wouldn't. But even if it was a Summer X Games, probably wouldn't pick it up. But that maybe is just because I have way too many kendamas and I don't think I need another one. But I was going to say that the look of it, if you're a fan of the Flow Grove mod, then this is a kind of duplicate.
I would say it's pretty similar with the exception of the trees.
Yeah, trees. There you go. Oh, look at even the color of it. I didn't even notice at the top. I didn't compare them next to him like you're doing right now for everyone to see visually. Yes, even the color is the same.
That's pretty wild. That is, I just love Josh so much, so I keep it up there. Never play it.
So it's an X Josh mod.
Oh,
X Games.
Throw that in there. X Games / Josh Grove / Sweet
Flow Grove's mod is in all of the contestants of the Aspen X Games hands.
That's what they should have done. They should have just done another run of the Flow Grove mod. So that was this week. That was just a few days ago. Last week, we had a new Sumo from Sweets.
Yes. This one came out. It was designed again after a bird, right? I think the last one was a bird. They're sticking on the bird theme.
I think all Sumos are going to be bird themed the same way that all kaijus are like monster or like beast large thing. I guess the Clifford isn't really either a beast or a monster, but it's large. Yeah, but they're all going to be bird themed. I think I heard somebody say from here on out, all Sumos. Okay.
I mean, it doesn't really look like a bird compared to the kaijus, where they really have the aesthetic of making it look like almost a part of that beast or whatever it is with a kaiju, the monster. Where here it's just like taking the pattern, the color scheme, and adding their own flair to it, which is really cool because I think they'll be able to have a lot of different ideas come about. I always think about, just kind of like, I don't know, brown nosing myself. Could I even do? So what I'm going to is that when they did Design a Prime back in the day, the first one actually, Shinfo, the reason why I started Instagram was to take part in that contest, and I made it to the top 10. So it's like my very first post. If you scroll all the way down, you'll see that.
I'm doing it right now.
I decided to go with what is it called? Eco mimicry, eco mimicry. Nature mimic. So it's when you're taking something that was made from nature, and you're taking it and putting it into some technology that we can use for man now. So example would be like how geckos, how their fingertips are made to have extra grip for like gloves or something, or how a spider will wind its thread of a spider is being made to use, like, how can we make like metal cables or whatever kind of cable stronger? So it's that whole idea. And I decided to go with a bird theme because the birds of paradise, if you ever saw that one that's like black, it looks like a UFO or something, then it has like these blue like eyes and shit. So those birds are so nutty. There's so many of them. So that's the idea that I had because, birds trying to get attention, males to the other females. And so tracking is the whole idea. So that's what I decided to go with. And I did some crazy research about like that kind of black. What is it called? Like Venta black or something? Or maybe it's a different kind of black. That is like the blackest thing in from nature. That is the blackest black. If you watch the video of this Birds of Paradise, guys, if you've seen it before and you look at this bird, like it almost doesn't look like a bird. It looks like a fucking alien because the black, there's no reflectiveness on the black, where if you're looking at like a shirt or something or a car or anything that's black in life, like there's a sheen to it. You can see like depth within it. But these things, like where's its head? You just see those two eyes. It's so cool.
So absurd.
But any case, I went too deep into that, and that was the whole idea that I had for it. And I was pretty stoked that it made it to the top 10, didn't make it to the final champion, the three that actually, but bringing birds back. So who knows?
Yes.
Who knows? You gotta talk to Sweets. Be like, hey, did I have a hand in that at all? Maybe.
Okay, I think that's all the Sweets Damas that came out.
I want to take a hook on that one. Blog time. Sweets, giving some special anecdotes. They're talking about how the Sumo, not only is that, hey, it's a fun kendama that you can buy and take, home and take to the jam with you, but it's the best kendama learning tool, they say. And you know what? I might agree, because the first turntable 2 spin, 2 rotation, revelation. Turntable was on a Sumo. And I was like, I didn't even like put in that much effort. And I was like, I've always never tried to, because I'm like, man, like never works. But then I think I was doing like a Ken game with Sue at Sue Lab, and we were using Sumo, and he did one. And I'm like, oh man, you got me. But then I fucking pulled it off. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Sumo.
I thought that that's how I would feel about the kaiju. I was like, the kaiju's big, so I'll be able to understand the trick I'll be able to understand the intricacies of the trick because the kendama is so big. But the kaiju is too big, too heavy. So I stand by that. I don't own a sumo. I've played a bunch of sumos, but I do have that really big serial kendama that they released, the one that's like 110% bigger or something.
Okay.
And it's great. Yeah, it's like, it's a really easy way, because it's just a little bit bigger. It's an easy way to like understand the trick. And the shorter
spike length, so the lunars that, like, if you're struggling with lunars, balance on everything is going to be, the balancing point is greater. If anyone, you envision go back to your Tony Hawk Pro Skater days when you do like a manual or 5-0 and you have that meter that you have to stay into the center, that like, okay, so that meter, as you get bigger with kendamas, that meter gets bigger. So it is easier. So it's like, for me, when I see crazy like kaiju tricks that are like, oh, no whole bird balance, it's like, you take some skill, of course, to do that. But at the same time, the tool that you're using is making it easier to do. So, okay, that's cool. I'm just an old head rambling and shit, but I definitely see that, if you're struggling with some things, that's, kendamas are getting bigger little bit. So our tricks can be evolved. And that's what we're seeing. So definitely, I would say that is a really cool post that they put out, and something that they should kind of push more for the good points about a sumo. But we don't see too many sumos that come out, because they're not the most popular of kendamas.
Yeah. And then speaking of Sweet's blog posts, they just did one yesterday or the day before about like the 50 first tricks that you should like master, like be really good at these. And it's all like really simple stuff, right? It's like big cut, small cut, base cut. Then do all those in Sara grid. But then the next 10 are like, okay, but now do all 3 of those and then spike it. And then do around the world and spike it, right? And I think it's great that they have Cody Booth running the blog now and having like pretty regular blog posts coming out. Because I don't think that that's anybody's ideal way of consuming information necessarily anymore. But
did you just say consuming? Like all nonchalantly?
No, I did not. But I wish I did.
Oh shit!
But I just think it's cool, right? That they have it there. It's available. I tried to do the blog thing on the Kendama website, and I was like, I hate this. This is terrible for me.
Yeah. Not a writer. I mean, hey, some people are, some people aren't. But yeah, so cool to see that. Good idea. So anyone who is struggling with tricks that they want to get better with, you might have a good chance of getting more confidence and building maybe muscle memory to do those tricks with a normal size kendama, competition size, I guess we could say, with the sumo. So go pick one up. Birds.
Yeah.
Hey, GT, they're having a sale. Now, okay, this is interesting. So the Stodd mod, I guess maybe they're not moving too much or they have a lot. But there's a sale going on right now. You get a Stodd mod. It is the Legacy, so all 100% Japanese made with that steam coat. Very, very similar to the Sue Lab friction clears because it's made in the same factory, everybody. There might be a slight difference of how much grip to slip there is because if you know about Sue Lab, there's the friction clear, then there's friction clear light, which they say is less durable with the light as well as a little less, grippy. So not sure about where this stands in, but it is coming from the same factory. So very, very pretty much same paint. But it's still there. So I'm not sure why people, it's a beautiful kendama. I really like the color scheme that they have going. Really had a nice Japanese aesthetic throughout the whole thing. So the whole deal is that you can get a free TC mod, pretty much, with or any other Dama that they have on their site that's not a pro mod, for free. So that's pretty sweet. You can check that out and get a pretty damn good Japanese made Dama from GT.
Yeah. And to
And it ends
answer
today.
your question,
That's the big thing. Ends today.
it ends today at noon, which is like
Soon.
if
If you're living on the East Coast, you got like
2
an
hours.
hour.
Yeah. It's the price. You know, people are just afraid to pick it up because of the
$100.
price. 115 plus shipping.
Okay.
So that's just what I've heard
Which
from a
I
few
guess-
people. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that could be it, because recently, like, who else is putting premium kendamas out?
Quad. I know people really like the quad kendamas, and they're like
Are they
on the
'Cause
hand
they're
turn side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
But I think because this is coming from the Legacy factory and it's not like hand turned in the same way that the other GT kendamas are, I think that people are just associating it with like Hanrui and like some of the like large scale problems that come with like China made kendamas. You won't get that here. It's still made in like a
not at
small
all.
batch and like overseen by somebody in Japan, no less, which is like
Quality
the
control. is
birthplace,
ridiculous.
right?
The birthplace of quality control.
Yeah, no. But yeah, I know a few people who have picked it up, and I know a few people who were like, oh, maybe I'll get it now. It's a pretty good Dama. The only reason I didn't is because it's $115 plus like $6 shipping.
So then maybe this is a good deal. You're getting 2 Damas now for that price. One is at a very high quality.
Yes.
And the other one is satisfactory.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're getting like go pick up the GT EBH, which I think would be
I
think you can get that one, right? It's not like a pro
you
mod.
can. You can get the Take Notes mod, which was the old school shape.
Yeah.
mod.
So it only excludes the TO, and you can't get a second Legacy Dama for free.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, go get the Take Notes is a really great Dama. Like the Aventus TC.
The new Kaito.
The new Kaito.
Jacob Lowe.
Yeah. Oh, I really like that. The Jake Weens GT Dama, which is
Weens, the red, the
red,
classic.
very classic. Like, that's sick. Go get that one. That's like that would be a cool one to pick up.
Okay, nice. Like the commenting that's happening here in the live. That's why everyone is here. That's why we're stoked that X Large is saying that Stodd mod is more in a traditional shape with smaller cups as well. And yeah, comparing with many of the others, I guess it's standard shapes of kendamas. This one is maybe a little smaller. So who knows? That could be another factor within the whole thing. But if you are a kendama player who's playing all the time, every day, you can take an old school 2014 mod and play it. Like Rylan, perfect case in point. You had that sweet mammoth.
Yeah,
and you're doing tricks. Like it doesn't
I'm still playing
need
it
to be
like daily.
Yeah, honing it in.
Yeah,
so bringing it to NAKO as your competition Dama. I
was thinking about it. I just picked up a Pro Prime with a Pro Clear Tama. And I've been playing that. Like, that's been my daily kendama. And the cups are small, and the Dama is small, and the Pro Clear is super slippery. Like, it's not broken in at all, but it's still playable. Like, just because it's a little bit smaller, I know that everybody likes the big kendamas, but it's still really great. It's still good.
You can still play it. It's still good.
Still playable.
Totally.
Okay, so I want to talk about this really fast.
Let's do it.
The Kusa and Seoul Parks and Rec Tour. They have the Dama.
It's going on.
But it comes in both shapes. You can get it in the Nova or in the 1-Up.
So you got to choose.
Yeah, but I think that's really great. Like, I think that's really cool, because if you are going or if you like the Tama design, but you really like the Nova, or you really like the 1-Up, you can pick. Like, you don't have to go buy a 1-Up to throw on this cool ass Tama. And the Tama's really cool. It's a really, really cool Tama. So
more mountains
out there.
Just saying. Maybe mountains are the biggest, outside of just like stripes and lines. Mountains might be the next contender of most popular design on a Tama.
I think so. Yeah. Bish has trees on hers, like on the Ken, but it's still pretty close.
Oh yeah. But okay.
But I do also really like that the bags are like, one says Kusa and one says
nice.
Soul. And they look like high quality bags. They've got that like little
bags
bead on them. Yeah, go pick this up. It's really great.
Drawstring, yeah.
And it's got the logo that they made, like the Soul Kusa collab logo. The whole thing is really cool. Go pick it up. Even if you didn't go to the tour, go pick this up.
Yeah, I'm very curious about the tour and how many people are going. From the picture that I've seen, I see just the people who are on the team or who are on the tour. Maybe I'm just not looking close enough, but I'm like, it doesn't like do it. Or who else is there? It just looks like it's Kusa and Saul just hanging out in the mountains and shit. I'm sure there's
I think the biggest,
at least for the rec part.
Yeah. I think that they're going to get the most amount of turnout. Is that tonight in Boulder?
Ooh.
Sure. Because I think the Boulder Jam is hosted at the Krom shop with Bonds, or at least Bonds is going to be there. Yeah. So I think they're going to get the most amount of turnout, especially also like Boulder is a city, whereas like even like, so they went to Arches National Park, right? Moab is far from places, and Moab is really small. So like there's not a ton of people like, and I played Kendama in Moab for like 4 or 5 straight days. Not a single person was like, oh, a Kendama. It's just, it's a really small town. It's like you just go to Moab just to go to Arches National Park. That's it. Like not a lot of people live there. So I think that because they're going to like national parks, the turnout just naturally isn't going to be huge because people don't live in national parks. Yeah. But Boulder is a pretty big town. So,
right. Okay. Cool. But still cool event, cool idea what they're doing, taking it out on the street or into the woods, I should say. Yeah. That's dope.
More Damas. Oh, Sue.
Yes. New signature series. So I guess technically not pro signature, but I mean they are for the pros. But then Sue and Ayaka are not. They're the company owners, so they're like, oh, of course I'm going to make my own Dama. Even though technically all of their Damas are their Damas, you know what I'm saying? But in any case, so those are coming out, and you're getting 2 new ones from the last batch, because most of them are, I believe, from the last set of signature mods. They are the same, except Modi's not there. Moti's not there anymore. And I think that's it. Oh, and Noah. Where'd Noah go? From Seattle.
Oh.
Yeah. He has disappeared. Seems like I didn't think about that just until now when I'm trying to think about all of the past ones. But yeah, here we have 2 new players on the team, Hiroto and Hinata.
Yes.
I believe their names are. So different color schemes happening with those, which are pretty sweet.
And also the Sue Dama is Sue's Dama is really cool. I really like that. That yellow tracking.
Yeah.
And I know that's probably going to be the one that most people want. They're sold out already, I would assume.
Probably. Yeah. Whenever, for anyone who is not aware of the whole membership thing that happens, whenever you become a member, once the post goes up about, hey, announcement, new Kendamas are dropping, that's when all of the members are allowed to DM them and say, I want to reserve one. I would like to buy one. And that's when they can reserve. So once that happens, and it's going to go out, they're going to be released at the end of the month, I believe.
Let me pull it back.
So then they have, weeks of all the members looking at it and saying okay, deciding if they want one or not. And then when it finally does drop at the end of this month, it's usually at the end of the month. Yeah, there's usually none left for any of the vultures looking, the hyenas, us hyenas trying to take a scrap.
So I do have a question for you though, because you know Sue, are you ever just like, hey, leave one of those aside for me? Or does he make you pay for the membership?
Confidential information.
No, it's fine. I don't live in Japan, so it wouldn't help it wouldn't help me at all. But
yeah,
the Sulab Damas are great. I've been playing my Sulab a ton. Oh, I thought it was behind me for a second.
Yeah, yeah, dude, I just cracked
a ton.
I just cracked my my standard sync out for my trip that I went on. I was going to save it for a while to do like an unboxing, and I was like, this thing's been fucking sitting here for such a long time. I'm just going to take it out and play with it so I can actually give a good review of what it plays like, because I actually play it and not just do an unboxing and they're like, all right, sweet, now I got to wait a month or something until you know the deal. So yes, I've been digging it. So yeah, so there's new,
super good.
Sue's releasing new mods, so go check it out. If you are a member, you can pick one up now. X Large hitting it up. Oh yeah, 28th is when they go up. Yeah. So what? Okay, we were talking about Quad just for a second. Hey, it looks like there's announcements coming from Quad from 5 days ago. They have this really, I'm sorry guys, really bad packaging for a Kendama, which possibly isn't necessary if you're not going to be in a store. Maybe if you're doing more events are happening in person. So this would be kind of, hey, you look at the box and stuff, but you can't really see it. And I remember back in the day when Terra pills were coming out, that was one that the box was a hindrance pretty much to the product itself. People didn't know what was inside. You have pictures on the outside and stuff, but still it's like, what is that thing? Because it was just a little window, just like this. Like a wooden thing that's like, what is that? I don't know. But yeah, so just extra shinfo if you need. That is the kanji for kami, which is God.
Yeah.
In Japanese, or if you use a different kanji, it means hair. Or if you use a different kanji, it means paper. So depending on which one you're using, but here they have the correct kanji. So yes, God, Force Layers, Quad. Announcements coming soon. What were you just flashing for a second? What was that? Was that the announcement?
That is the Dama, yeah.
Oh, okay. It looked like, I thought you were showing me the Tosta mod from Kusa.
It does kind of look like that, huh? Yeah, not a super unique design, but I think what you're paying for is a cheaper Quad Kendama, a more easily and readily accessible.
Yeah,
I believe so. They're China made. They're factory made. I don't know. I don't know for sure if they're China or Hanrui.
Oh, there you go.
But they are
the Nami mod. Hailing back to the old, again related to Kusa, how I thought it looked like a Tosta. Nami translates to wave. Make waves.
Make waves mod.
Make waves. The new Make Waves Quad mod is out. Okay.
Yeah. But
in the Tosta colorway.
So
shitting all over Quad. I'm sorry, guys.
They were doing a clear with Adrian Esteban. Well, I'm sure they still are, but that was on their hand turned.
Yeah.
There will be 100. It's the word clear, but the A is a 4. Oh, because Quad 4.
Revelations.
But I don't know what it is. I don't know if it is the Adrian Clear and maybe they're giving it a new name, or maybe it's the Adrian Clear, but now they're doing it instead of Adrian. But on the 27th, there will be 100 of those, of just the cleared.
Dude, I mean, if Adrian stumbled upon something and if Quad is like, yo, we'll give you a huge sum of money, for the recipe kind of thing, he's like a cook going around this restaurant's like, oh, our food sucks. We'll buy your recipe because it's good. And then, hey, Boston coming in, who was from left field, from Vegas field. It's their own kind of clear. So there you go.
Brett, so if you know anything else about it, please throw it in chat because I'd be interested to know. It's clearly a silk clear though.
Clearly.
MJ.
No?
But it looks more like silk than like maybe cushion. It looks like silk. So
Yes.
I'd be interested to try it. I don't know. I have too many Damas.
The shape is really cool.
On the way.
I see people rocking the shape.
The shape is great.
What was it? Kendama Puke that we were talking about 2 weeks ago. He actually DM'd me because he watched the video and he was like, actually, you guys are kind of wrong about some of the information that we were spitting. So yeah, I think we said he was on quad or a part of the team. So he's not. And where he was from, I think we said he was from Seattle, but he's not. So just wanted to clear the water for that. But he is still making Dama Shed clothing. So go check that out. But yeah, the quad, the shape, it seems pretty similar but different in some ways. It kind of reminds me of the chunkiness of like a one-up shape a little bit. So it's cool to see that they're continuing to make, and I kind of feel like more people are just all about, in the past it was the paint because that was a special thing that people could actually go in and modify, MacGyver a bit. But now with so many people getting in contact with Hundui or turning Kens themselves, we're seeing a lot more options out there and a really new planet of just shapes. And I think that like the shape is where people are going to, we've already been seeing it for a while. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I kind of feel like, people should focus on shapes. And that's why people are buying shapes, like, not design, not so paint. Paint is like relevant a little bit, but it's all about that shape and finding the one that fits you best. It's kind of like beer. There's a beer out there for everyone. You just haven't found the one for you if you say you don't like beer.
You're not wrong. Because I wasn't a beer guy for a long time until I tried IPAs, and they ruined my life, MJ. They're so good.
And then within IPAs, there's so many variants of it. So, you could have one that you really like, and then one that you're like, oh, this kind of sucks.
What was I going to say?
Brett also came in. Yeah, feels more like a satin when we were talking about the quads.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Then the Adrian clear, but it's almost as tacky as the Revo clear when it's fresh.
Cool. Well, I would be interested to try it. We'll see though, because like I said, I have more kendamas on the way, and I gotta stop. Moving from that. Kendama USA had their Friday heat drop like they've been doing every Friday. Yes. They small batch of like hand-picked kendamas. This one is one of those corals with Nova Ash Ken. Somebody asked me recently, why would I buy that? Why wouldn't I just buy the coral like on any other day? For instance, the coral, right? It's because the people at the Kusa factory are hand picking these tamas with these Kens. They are perfectly weight matched. If that's something that's important to you, this is the way to do it. I think the other corals come on a beach Ken or maybe a maple. So unless you're buying a ash Ken as well, this is a really honed setup with the ash Ken. I love ash Kens. I think they're great. So, also, and they're cheaper too. Like you get it at a little bit of a discount. $30. So if that's something you're into, that's the way to do it. If not, then just go buy the coral. Like they're not doing anything like revolutionary with this. It's just a way to get like a super honed setup. That's just it. Stop asking me questions. I don't work for Kusa. But no, I still think it's really great that Kusa is doing that because a lot of people still really like their weight matched setups. So that's cool.
There you go.
That is
I believe that's all we have for the kendamas. And now there is a buttload of events that are happening in real life. We're taking off the VR headsets. We're, putting away, deleting Zoom from your computers or your smart devices because we're all getting back into hanging out, high-fiving and slapping and shit with each other in actual events. Of course, the big one being NAKO, NAKO. And it's happening. I know Brett already like so quickly was like, I booked my shit and I'm ready to shit and go. Like
Rylan
ridiculous.
Yeah. As soon as Matt gave out the dates, I bought tickets. Well, Ken Drama bought me tickets.
Nuts. That is so amazing. Minneapolis, September 9, 10, 11 as well. 2022 largest Kendama convention and competition. Convention happening. I really hope this year we get some cosplay going.
And Jay Boogs was there, I'm pretty sure. Last night we were talking about it. Matt does Mario 64 streams, and we're trying to get him to do Super Mario 64 speedruns live at NAKO on the big screen. So if you watch him do the speedruns, instead of yelling at him in chat, you yell at him in person.
He won't be able to do that. On the day. Event holder. During the convention, though, like, you know, what was it? Yeah, of course, not for the final, but for the first day last time, or whatever, the one that happened in real life, how they were at, because they moved, right, for the final day or something, then they moved to the venue, the bar / like live venue. Yes. So before it was actually a convention, that's when they had like people from JKA, or like, you know, they were doing Kente testing. So having like different areas, different booths, and like that's like cool to really like create Kendama and make it not just this competition, but how they say it's a convention too, like gathering like the nerds, like back, you know, is I hope Downspike, are they still alive? Are the Sanders still alive? Kicking out, creating a really interesting new look at Kendama by adding like awards every year, like they did like the past 2 or something, and then we all got shot on. Is that coming back?
I hope
part of
so.
This convention thing, you know, cosplaying. Is there going to be like some sort of, you know, fun thing that they had? Of course, you know, Yank Spike competition. That's another kind of like extra thing that they can add to it, where it's like almost anybody can take part. You don't have to be the top of the top Kendama competitor to like, I don't know, really make it memorable for yourself by like taking a part in an extracurricular activity that happens that's not all about like Kendama. Like, is there going to be more edit drops? Like, how many edit drops? How many new shapes, pro mods will be coming out? There's going to be so much shit happening. You do not want to miss this.
No, this, I mean, you've got the other events too, which we'll go to in a second. I've already got them pulled up, but like, NAKO has been 2 years in the making. Like, so many people fell into Kendama during COVID. And so many people got in right before COVID. And then like, you know, have been playing alone in the room. And nobody, I guess I wouldn't say nobody, but people aren't as willing to fly to a small comp in a different state because it's a small comp. But I mean, if you got really honed through COVID and you're like a pro player, but you didn't want to compete online for some reason, there's going to be so many like weird, like left field underdogs who are just going to be destroying all the edits that are going to be dropping. Like NAKO is going to be enormous this year. Not to mention
so many.
You got jerks like me who have just been playing Kendama in your room. I'm dying for NAKO. I dropped so much money on tickets. The flights just immediately, like mid Twitch stream. Matt was like 9, 10, 11. I was like, great. I requested a week off of work already. It's in September. I have so much time. But like, no, it's going to be huge.
It's going to be ridiculous.
If you're on the fence about it, you just have to go. There's no way around it. You just got to.
You should go. You should go. You definitely should go. If you're on any kind of fence edge thinking about it, go in 100%.
100%. Also, can we start going into the other comps that are going?
Dude, they're happening. Yeah.
Oh, wait. Brett wants to know if you're going to NAKO, MJ.
No way. I would love to go. But hanging out with family, 3 little scramps running around, one being really young, having to take care of them, being able to take out that much money just to go like pretty much party, you know, leave the kids behind. Like, yeah. And I'd be like, feel so shitty to go to the US and not like go to my hometown on the East Coast, you know?
Yeah. I hadn't even considered that. You like, yeah.
Yeah. So then, yeah, most likely not. I mean, like, I'm even other competitions that are happening that I'm even in Japan, I'm like, I don't know if I can go to Kendama World Cup. I'd really like to. It's like kind of not really in my backyard because I'd have a really huge fucking backyard. If I need to take an airplane, that's why I'd be taking an airplane to go to Hiroshima. But yeah, I would like to go. Maybe there's going to be, hey, tell Cody to make like a one room in the convention area where it's like online sesh for all the people who can't make it or something. But you know what? Maybe not even that, because like that's why I never took part in any of the online comps, because it was like I'd have to wake up at like 3 a.m. to take part in it, and I'm like, no.
So I offer you this, MJ. I will be running the Kendama booth. I'll set up an iPad. I'll put you on a stool, and you can help me run the Kendama booth from FaceTime. If anybody wants to meet MJ, come to the Kendama booth. I'll call him for you.
I'll possibly be there.
No, yeah. And I don't think that really anybody like expected you to, just from the flights alone. Like
it's nuts.
It's not.
I mean, like there's going to be people who are going international, definitely. I mean, look at all the people who come to Japan for the Kendama World Cup. But go to Minneapolis, and like I've never been there before, so I guess it could be something new. But it would be totally for the event, and it would be ridiculous, and it would be awesome. But in any case, there's other events that are happening. What was the next one? There's BKO. Oh,
I was gonna do.
That's what I was gonna hit up. BKO, just because that's happening May 29th. All right. It's up, and the competition. So of course, British Kendama Open. So all for the the tea and crumpets. All of our buddies sipping on tea. I'd be such an asshole over the pond.
What else do they do?
Yeah. Besides cry about how shitty the weather is, play Kendama. There's a lot of good players in the UK. BKO is happening May 29th. It's going to be pretty cool. Of course, not only people within the UK, but all the other European countries around. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people that will be going to that. It's really cool. You can get tickets for it right now. So go check it out if you're watching here from Europe. And their styling of the competition is like the Kendama World Cup. You got a set of tricks on a list. Each correlate to how many points you can get, depending on the lower points. The easier tricks, the higher they go, the more difficult the tricks. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. And Dama, somewhere in there, I don't know. Serial Kendama Pro. I imagine Ben Pycroft, you'll be there at BKO. Had too much coffee this morning. So if you want to meet Ben lives over the other pond. What is the pond thing? I already forgot it.
The pond. Across the pond. Yeah.
Across the pond, drinking tea. At BKO. Ben, I'm sorry. Moving on from BKO, very similar to Kendama World Cup. Woo!
Yes, happening Hatsukaichi, the birthplace of Japan. Also the birthplace of the newest, possibly, I'm not sure. I still need like another hour to go through the Dominers podcast. Yumi Nakamura is going to be on guest of episode 51 of Dominers. I've been going through little by little. She is from Hiroshima. Go deep into her story, but that's a side note thing. That's where Kendama was born. That's where Mugen Muso was born. That's where everything happens, down in Hatsukaichi. And that's where everyone goes to the ultimate Kendama journey, pilgrimage back to the homeland for Kendama World Cup is happening. It's coming back 2022 this year. I am almost guaranteeing that the champ is going to be a Japanese citizen.
Yeah, I would guess. Even with the probably Nick and Zach going, I would assume Sweets would try to get them out there.
Oh yeah.
Even
everyone,
yeah,
all the companies should be grabbing their highest players, quality players, and be like, the whole team ain't going. I'm sorry, dude, but you're going.
yeah. But I mean, even with Nick and Zach going, the Japanese resident players,
they're going to be in abundance, dude.
Well, and they've all just been so good. They are like the Japanese residents of Japan players have like you've got like high receipts doing like the edits, their little vlogs, and the tricks that they're doing in those are insane. And I think it all comes down to like, I don't know, we've talked about it before, like being around Kendama, like from a younger age. But yeah, I would not doubt for a second that this year's World Cup winner will almost definitely be a Japanese resident.
The question is, how young will he or she be?
Oh,
because it's been getting younger and younger.
I'll start bets now.
In the past, and now Yasu. I think Yasu is like the youngest. I don't know. I can't even think about who else is younger. Like Togo, like little Shinosuke. But I don't think he's ridiculously good, but I don't think he's on the level of like Yasu. Any case, yeah, that's happening. So Kendama World Cup. Hey, if anyone is thinking about it, hey, it's a big travel. The Prime Minister has announced that within the next month, a lot of regulations, restrictions will be lifted for international travelers coming to Japan. So it is happening just in time. So be on the lookout. If you got your money saved, something they've been wanting to do, possibly this is the time. Maybe because there might not be like a huge gang of the Western players, and they are the ones who pretty much, kind of bring the party.
Yeah, sure. But if you can't go to World Cup for some reason, because you're busy at the end of July, but you're not busy at the beginning of July, you could go to the European Kendama competition.
Okay. Oh my gosh. It's happening.
KC.
Did you see?
Kendama champ.
Yep. Fronted by Tio.
Championship.
Now, did you guys check out the GT EU?
Yes.
Video? It was ridiculously good. You go check it out again.
So good.
Pick it up. You're supporting a ridiculously awesome cause because, again, I've said it in the past, it's all about helping each other out, supporting these smaller brands. And, no matter how, like, just young they look, no matter how crappy their box design is, there's a lot of heart that goes into it and effort that goes into it, especially, I think more effort goes into this, like, kicking, starting it off. Once you get momentum, it's a little easier. Support. And that's one awesome new way that you can support this event that's going to be happening over for the European homies. Go check it out.
Also, Brew Battle.
Yes.
Oh,
hold on. Pi Dama
comment on what Ben said?
Yes. Just wanted to clear up something regarding BKO. I was incorrect, everyone. Sorry. Pi Dama's hitting us up. It's not ran the Gloken style with certain tricks being worth more or less points. It's an open format. So it's the same as NAKO, NKO or Battle. Yeah, at the border. Thank you for clearing that up. Now we all know.
Brew Battle.
Brew Battle. Yes, Brew Battle. Get your coffees out. If you are lactose and caffeinated, is that even a phrase? I don't know, but you know what I'm saying? You might not want to go to this one, but hey, I think Adam will still accept if you're going to go hanging out. If you drink some tea, something with caffeine, maybe Jolt Cola. Is that still around? I don't know. But Brew Battle.
I don't think so, but
2022 is happening July 29th. 30th, 31st. 3 days, everyone, up in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Freestyle competition, pro and am open division. There's a speed ladders comp. There's a Banff hike.
Banff hike, let's go, baby.
You are going. That might be influence from Seoul, from Chateau. Cash prizes, coffee, of course. That should have been like top on the list of these things that we're reading off right now. 7 to Spike, vendors, and more. It's Kendama's most caffeinated event, hosted by the one and only Adam McNeil, Cafe Kendama. Maybe Cafe Bouldering Man.
Yes. Oh, he's getting really good at climbing, huh? Adam asked me if I was going to go, and I was like, oh, I can't. It just happens to line up July 29th and the 30th. I'll be at a wedding. So I was like, there's no way I can swing that. I'll be in Tennessee. Also, I thought about it. God, flights to Canada are so expensive, and I got to go get a new passport. My passport got stolen. Anyway, if you can go, let's say that. If you can go, you must go. This is going to be a really great comp, especially with the Banff hike. That was a really cool inclusion. Banff National Park, beautiful, amazing. If you've never been to Banff, you got to go.
Huge mountains, big lake, nice little town. Actually, the only place when I went to Canada I went to, because I was in Calgary.
Ooh. Yeah. But also you've got a ton of Canadian players who I would say just because like the American border is crossing, I don't know. If you are really into any Canadian players, this might be your chance to meet them. Might be a little bit easier than like at Battle at the Border. I guess NAKO is a little bit easier. Or maybe like a comp in Seattle. But I don't know. I would assume Rod would be there, but isn't he on a boat or something? MJ, you know.
He is actually relocated. He is back in Canada right now. So
perfect.
Yeah. So he's there right now, but this is going to be going down in a little while, of course. So you can still be seeing a lot of people from Canada. And, you know, as the flyer says, Canada's most caffeinated Kendama event. I would also like to say probably North America's nicest event, because if you ever met anyone from Canada, everyone, which I haven't too much until I moved to Japan and I met a lot of Canadian people, the nicest people. Yeah. You know, there's a joke where it's like, if you meet a Westerner in Japan and they're like saying sorry and like thank you and opening doors for each other, they're probably Canadian.
Anytime I've talked to Adam, he's overly polite, and I think it's the Canadian in him. He also might just be a really nice guy. I guess I shouldn't throw that out the window. But Canadians are super polite. So if you're afraid that you'll get bullied at a different comp, don't be worried about this one.
I'll tell you which one you want to go to then. Saturday, May 21st, 11 a.m., Washington Square Park, New motherfucking York, everybody. It's happening. It's going down. The AM Open is going down, dude. $300 in cash prizes. They said, we don't need any kendamas. This is something I've talked maybe on here or with Rod about on Dama Nerds. We don't need actual like damas, like all the sponsors giving the event organizers kendamas to give to their the people who win, because the people who are winning now are like all sponsored pros. So they're like, I cannot play with this, or I don't need this. I don't want this. So it's cool that even a smaller competition like this is throwing out real cash prizes. Of course, sponsored by a grip of people within the area. I think PDocs is from the Northeast. You got Kendama Depot, also Northeast. And I think that's it from the Northeast. Any case, you have also a bunch of other people. Oh, no, and New Lace.
Oh.
So go check it out. Should be good. Get your face punched.
Yeah.
New York City. Welcome.
Okay. If you're looking for a comp that is somewhere sort of in between being overly polite and New York aggressive, go to the Phoenix Kendama Jam with D Westy. I don't know. I guess people from Phoenix could be mean. I've never met anybody super mean from Phoenix, though. And I'm going to try to go to this one. No promises, though. I have kids.
Yep. That you can't bring, really. But yes, yeah. So there you go. This Phoenix one. This is happening. Good shit. One of the last... Okay, this is the last thing that I have up for everyone. New York's the best. In Tokyo, Kendama Day is happening. Every May 15th is the Kendama Day in Japan. It has become so. I believe it is the day that the kendama was actually registered as a product back in whatever 100 years ago. So it's happening in Tokyo. I'm scheduled to go. Hopefully everything goes smoothly. I'll be going. I'll bring my camera. I'll be filming everything. Fucking doing like shotgun interviews with as many people as possible. Dude, Fufu's gonna be there. They did live in Tokyo, but they recently moved. I forgot where they moved to, but they're kind of far away now. But they're coming down, or up, I should say, to Tokyo for Tokyo Kendama Day. It's gonna be pretty sweet. So I'm gonna take part. It's gonna be dope. I'm excited because, again, with the whole theme that we've been going on with in real life kendama events, taking off the VR goggles and shit, it's happening. And there hasn't been really many events, especially here in Japan, that have been gathering a bunch of people for kendama in kind of big numbers. And I believe this will be a big one.
Yeah. That was your last one?
I think that's my last post that I saved. Yep.
Okay. Well, then I just have one that is kendama adjacent. Really quick. If you're into rollerblading, and also women's rights, I guess, that was a terrible transition. The blade ladies, ladies. Yeah. They did a wheel.
Yes.
Collab with Deal With It. So
yes.
Every once in a while, Deal With It does their wheels, right? Because they also are into blading.
Huge. Yeah. Massively into blading. It's really cool. You know, in the past they've made that collab with the Bladers.
Yeah.
Not
Blade
sure.
Life,
Not
right?
so Blade Life. Yeah. So it's really cool how, like, you know, like we've heard in the past that there is a strong connection when the U.S. really got into kendama with skiing as well as blading, and it kind of maybe like parted ways, it feels like. But Matt Rice, Terra Pro / owner of Deal With It, co-owner of Grain Theory, for those who don't know, he's, you know, rekindling that connection, that bond between the blading community and the Dama community by doing these awesome collabs, and it's really, really cool to see.
Yeah. I think it's sick. And I really like that. I'm sure that he just like, I don't think that he like intentionally set out to be like, I need to do a collab with women. But it's cool that like they are women bladers, right? Like I think that it's great that there is always somebody trying to highlight the women in their community. And I'm glad that Matt did sort of, you know, a little collab with them, I guess, if you would call it.
Yeah.
And also, I like the wheels. I like the way the wheels look. I don't know how to rollerblade, but I think that they're just very aesthetically pleasing. Well, I like them.
Buy a few, put them on your Christmas tree.
Maybe
it comes around if you celebrate Christmas. Yeah, dude. And it's cool how it's like from Deal With It, but it's like it has nothing to do with kendama.
Yeah.
Besides Deal With It, that's on there.
Well, that was my last thing. I always try to save the kendama adjacent things for last. So
there you go.
There we go.
Case closed. All right. I'm going to go into our questions we have. We've been grinding extra because, again, you know, last week we were off. But let's go quickly. J Bog's been sending some questions. We got one from Dama Squid as well. Here, I think this is an order, but we'll be going into. First one from the J Boogs. I would say Boogs. Remember Booger Man? Remember that game for like, what was that? Like the Super Nintendo? In any case, have you watched any edits that has motivated you recently? For me, I was just, as I'm editing Dama Nerds episode 5-1 with Yumi, talking about Kendama World Cup, the first catch and flow, the first World Cup and stuff that happened, going back and trying to find clips of those days, and just before this, like 30 minutes before this, as I was editing, I was looking up old clips, 2014 catch and flow, the first one that happened. And one of the video, I think there's about like four from the 2014 era that you can find. And one of them starts off with like my first run when I went, and it's had a huge smile on my face as watching that. Ooh. So that one gave me motivation. Not technically an edit, but it was good. Reminiscing the times.
obviously the things that give me the most inspiration, the edit that always gives me the most inspiration, it's always going to be Fringe Case. I just really like Fringe Case. But right now, like, I've watched the Skags edit probably like 9 or 10 times. And I just think, I like that Skags is throwing in like little parts of tricks that like he doesn't lace it perfectly, or like he hits a really great banger, but he doesn't lace the ender and he doesn't cut that out. And I think that that's just a little bit different than what you normally get from like a super polished premium edit. I don't know. I just like it. I think that, and he does some really weird, unusual tricks, like spinning the Ken as it flips. And that one is giving me a lot of inspiration currently to do something weird. We'll see though. I'm lazy.
There you go. Nice. Let's check out the next one. Here you go. Again, from the Boogs. Do you think Kusa is going to grow a lot more? I would hope so. I would hope so. I would think so, because they have been bringing more people. They've been actively bringing more people on the tribe team. There have been a few people who would be going into the pro spot, the pro realm, or even like, I guess, legend. I think that's something that all the companies should start doing. They shouldn't just leave it. It's like, oh, you know, Sweets started this like legend mod kind of stuff, so maybe I shouldn't do it too. I don't want to copy their homework or whatever. But no, I believe it's like having like AMs or pros, like the flow team would. They should have, every company should make, especially the big ones, should make a legend team. Krom had it already, and they just called instead of legend, they called them the Chromosauruses. The Chromosauruses, I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So that's something that should be done. And, so yeah, I believe that they'll be growing.
Yeah. And I've just taken
I don't have much weight behind it.
I'm taking a quick,
being more active a little bit, you know?
Right. Taking a quick look at the Kusa page really fast. Haley is really the only pro player that they have active. Yeah. Like, and actually active, right? Like, I'm sure that Colin hits a trick every once in a while. Zach Yord released, what was it? Edit 7, the most recent one he did.
When they were still putting numbers on edits, that was the thing of the past as well. And there's probably plenty of people who are like, Colin who? Zach what?
Turner Thorne somewhere. Alex Smith
he's stepped away. Smith, exactly. But then even recent ones like Logan.
Oh yeah. And that's the thing, right? Like Nobu isn't on this list. Logan isn't on this list.
Nobu is very active,
but not on this on this list, right? So
yeah.
And then Zach Magnuson is pro. He's pretty active. True. He's doing some pretty good stuff. Yeah. But yeah, what MJ said, as they continue to add more people to the tribe team and they move people from the tribe team to their pro team and their pro team to become legends, and they didn't really do a ton of stuff in sticky paint. Like all of their pro mods were always in silk, and now they're making their pro mods in sticky paint. So that's making those a little bit more accessible to newer players. The Nova shape is really great. So
doing a lot of collabs recently.
Working with Soul, which is pretty cool. Like it's one thing to like collab with like smaller communities, but with another company who's on the same level as you, it's pretty bold, I would say. Yeah. Yes, I personally would say that they have the opportunity to have a lot of growth. It's just a matter of them continue doing what they're doing right now, which is, it seems to be working. Things seem to be going well. And
that momentum ball.
Staying on top of it. And just not letting that momentum die down. Maybe Kusa need that, like a Kusa comp, like something like NAKO or like Battle at the Border, which is like NAKO Sweets, Battle at the Border Soul. They need something like that, not necessarily just like the Georgia Kendama players, little jams they do.
Possibly. I kind of have a feeling that, Kusa likes to ride shotgun more than be the driver.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But yeah, I think they'll be grown. Hear that. Good question. On to the last one, Dama Squid. Is amped, the sweets amped shape, competition certified? I would guess that it is. I would assume that it is. Certified being like to fit in the Kendama World Cup box. Yeah.
I don't know if it maxes out the box. It's definitely not as the cups aren't as big as Lotus. But height wise, I would say it's either hitting the top of the Glowken box or very close. But yes, everything that Sweets makes, with the exception of the Sumo and the Kaiju, is comp ready, which includes the mini.
Like Easter egg one that probably wouldn't fit. Or well, no, the Kent would fit. Yeah, you're good.
Oh, I gotta get one of those Easter eggs. That's gonna be my NAKO Dama. Yeah, so even the mini is comp ready because it just can't be too big, because then the tricks at a certain point get easier. So yes, yeah, the amped is comp ready.
That's it. That's all she wrote. Thanks everyone for joining us. That's it for this week's Dama News. We're here every Sunday morning, pretty much, unless something comes up. But we're here. Me from Kendertainment, and Jay, Kendrama, Rylan, hanging out. Also, love to have all these people being in our chat, hanging out with us, asking us questions, making it more active. If you're just dipping in right now and seeing what it's like, hey, we have all of these episodes going up to the podcast, so you can find it on any podcasting platform, as well as going up on YouTube with a full video, where it's easier to kind of scroll through and find what we're talking about compared to Instagram. But here's where the live happens. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
we'll catch you for another one. Rylan, thanks for the chat. Peace out. Have a good one. Keep going.
Bye, guys.